And in this video, we're going to talk about how to land an internship in Congress. Why would you want to do this? So when I was 28 years old, I had worked at the General Assembly in Virginia. I'd worked with the New York City city government and council. I had worked in the corporate world, and I had worked in the nonprofit world. So I had worked with government from basically every angle, except actually being on the other side of the table. And so I had experience from the periphery, but I actually didn't have any Hill experience. And so I craved that experience. I knew that a fellowship or an internship is basically a long interview. And I knew that it would give me a dose of reality in terms of what Congress is actually like. So for me, it was something that I was definitely willing to consider, because I was told immediately how challenging it is to get on the Hill. So I wasn't thrilled about being a 28-year-old fellow, but I certainly wasn't alone. The attorney that was next to me was older than me, and he wanted to be on the Hill badly. An internship or a fellowship in Congress is a fantastic way to get your foot in the door. Now, how do you get one? All right. The first thing to consider is, do I want to serve in the House, the Senate, a committee? Would I like to work for a Republican or a Democrat? What are my geographic ties, and what are the issues that I like the most? Let's presume that you know that you are a Republican, that you like health care, that you have lived in Pennsylvania, Texas, Virginia, North Carolina. I'll explain right now why this is incredibly important. If you are a Republican who loves health and you have ties to these states, you grew up here, you worked here, you went to college here, you worked here, you can then create a plan of, all right, now which members would I really like to serve? All right, so I would like to have a Republican member, guy or girl, who handles a committee of jurisdiction over health. So in the House, that would be Ways and Means and Energy and Commerce. Those are your two main committees. With regard to health in the Senate, it would be Senate Finance or Senate Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions. So I need a member who serves on those committees, who is a Republican, and I will have a connection. I will understand these states to a certain degree. I need to find a member from one of these states that handles this issue on a committee of jurisdiction. I then create my list of about 20 offices from this. It could be transportation, it could be armed services, it could be energy, whatever you want. But I've got my list of 20 offices. Now, I need to reach out to every office. So I'm going to literally pick up the phone. I know that that could be a problem, but you have to pick up the phone. And you will call an office, and you will call and say, I'm interested in serving as a congressional fellow or intern for the member. Does the congressman or congresswoman or member or representative or senator, whatever works best, have an intern coordinator? I would say maybe 7 to 10, 8, overwhelming majority of the time, the intern coordinator will be the one who picks up the phone. So if you're calling an office, and you say, I'm looking for the intern coordinator, please. They will say, oh, that's me. You then say, may I please send you my resume? I would love to serve as an intern in the member's office. They will say to you, sure, send me the resume. Let's talk really quickly on those materials. If your LinkedIn account does not look very tight, if your LinkedIn photo is unprofessional, if your congressional resume is not ready to go, don't bother with this. Don't bother sending this poor staffer who's incredibly busy junk. Have that bundle ready first, because they're going to say, sure, you are a constituent, you are in our district, we'd love to take a look at your resume. Have those materials ready to go. So this person will most likely say, sure, please send me your resume. Here's my email address. Almost all emails look like this. So it'll be brent.sullivan@mail.house.gov. You will send that off. Now, if you live in Texas and you would like to work for a member in Washington from Texas, they're probably not going to force you to spend a lot of money to fly across the United States to do an interview in the Washington, D.C. office. That's really expensive, especially if you're a junior in college. A $400 flight from Dallas to Reagan is pretty taxing. So in many instances, if you're across the United States, if you're UCLA, University of Texas, South Dakota, you'll do a phone interview with this intern coordinator, or perhaps a chief, or perhaps an LD. Why would you like to work in Congress? Why did you select this member? Are you a Republican or Democrat? What policy issues interest you the most? That will be the crux of your phone interview. Can you carry a conversation? Can you be respectful? Can you be articulate? Then from there, would you like to serve in the district office, or would you like to serve in DC or Washington? The biggest conundrum is housing. So if you're looking for a place to stay in DC and you have to get an apartment, think about $1,000 a month. That can be a lot of money. If you have a friend, if you have an aunt, if you have a family member, if you have an exchange program through a university, you have some workaround solutions. It might make more sense if you are a junior at the University of Texas to work in the district office for that semester. You can go to school, you can drive to the district office. There are district offices throughout every district in the United States. So keep this in mind as well. In our next video, we will talk about how to excel in your internship, how to network, how to maximize the opportunity, how to treat it like it's a long-term job interview. You don't want to do an internship just to go through the motions. You want to get the most out of it.